But if you guys want to say her name, feel more than welcome. I really don't care. It's really not that deep. So, as you see from the title, there has been YouTubers that have been going around here lying on DV, okay? Domestic violence. So I'm standing firm in everything that I've said to you, girl. I don't take anything back. I'm a realist. I'm not going to act as if I haven't been coming for you. I absolutely have, because you came for me first. So, yes. Two wrongs don't make it right, but oh well. So, I don't like you. We all know that. You know that that's not a secret. But we're not going to make it seem as if I attacked you because you lied about domestic violence. No, it's not an attack. You're weird. So there have been a lot of YouTubers that have been commenting on this young lady, that has been making videos about this young lady, you know, and whatnot, about her blatant lies. They're on IG. If you go to my IG, Shonda Everywhere Show, it's public. I'm not hiding anything from anyone. I'm a firm believer is that anything that's done in the dark comes to the light, so I just put it right at the light. That is what I do. Yes. You know who you are. You know, you say you come from a cult, you know, all of this, whatever. Please stop saying that I'm working with Come Get This Commentary. When you do diss videos on me, it's fine. Just, can I get my own? I would like them solo, because I don't know Come Get This Commentary. I have been in her chats, love her show, think she's a beautiful woman. We have never had any contact with one another. I'm confused. Like, I don't understand why everybody has to be linking up when it comes to you. Please block this person. Actually, let me do it. Not a problem. Bye. Here, flip. So, I got it. Don't worry about mine. Took care of that. So, yeah, please stop linking us. It's really annoying. When I see my name in the title, I would prefer them to just get right to me. But I'm selfish like that. You know, when people disrespect me, solo. You know, I came at you by myself. So, my response video should just be me by myself. Yeah, me and Come Get This Commentary, we're not on any panels together. We have not done any shows coming for you. We have not done any of that. We have not exchanged information in the background. I have not had any sidebars with her. I don't know that lady like that. I just know she's a great content creator. I like her. Beautiful woman, once again. And I enjoy her content. That's it. I shared her video because I liked what I saw. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, yeah, we don't
What's
have
up, folks? What's up?
Weird. So, please stop linking that woman with me. It's weird. It's weird. And making it seem as if she's doing something underhanded. Yeah. No, her problem with you is her problem with you. Okay? That has nothing to do with me. We didn't unite out of disliking you, you know, or anything like that. We're still strangers. So, you're weird. Yeah, stop doing that. Just talk about me. I appreciate it. Domestic violence isn't a joke. Okay?
Salute.
She wants to sit over there and make it seem as if, you know, I'm lying on her, that I don't know what I'm talking about, all of this stuff, that I'm ignorant, basically. Because I said she lied about domestic violence, and I stand on that. So, let's get into this really quick. Since people want to try it. Let's get into this. So, domestic violence. Violent or aggressive behavior within a home, typically involving the violent abuse of a spouse or partner. Okay? That is what domestic violence is. Okay, let me read that one more time.
We need to get some people up here to have this conversation.
Or aggressive behavior within the home, meaning that two people share, typically involving the violent abuse of a spouse or partner. Okay? You stated that you picked up a friend from the airport, okay? And the situation escalated during the car ride, okay? Yeah, that's not a partner. That's not a spouse. And it's also someone you're not in a relationship with, okay? So like I said, you did not go through domestic violence. Okay? Now let's get into other reasons you didn't go through domestic violence. The charge you put up was for battery. Okay? Just the word battery.
We got about 2 minutes left for this.
Okay? Let's get into what domestic battery is. Okay? Updated on September 7th, 2021. The legal definition of domestic battery is any willful and unlawful touching that is harmful or offensive and is committed against an intimate partner. Okay? One more time. The legal definition of domestic battery is any willful and unlawful touching that is harmful or offensive and is committed against an intimate partner. Okay? He was your friend, is what you stated. That's why it only said battery, not domestic, because you're not in a relationship. Domestic describes a relationship two parties or more have between one another. Okay? All right. Getting even more reasons why you didn't go through domestic violence. Let's get into some more. Battery, crime. Battery is a criminal offense involving unlawful physical contact, distinct from assault, which is an act of creating apprehension of such contact. Okay? This explains it a little bit deeper down below. Battery is a specific common law misdemeanor, which you said he was charged with battery, a misdemeanor. Okay, let's keep going. Although the term is used more generally to refer any unlawful, offensive physical contact with another person, and may be a misdemeanor or felony depending on the circumstances. Battery was defined at common law as any unlawful or unwanted touching of the person or another by the aggressor or by a substance, okay, put in motion by him. In more severe cases, for all types of such jurisdictions, it is chiefly defined by statutory wording assessment of the severity of a battery is determined by local law. Okay? Okay, girl? Okay?
Hey, that dude is funny.
Now let's break that down a little bit.
That's funny.
Okay? Battery does not mean assault. Any unwanted touch. I'm fixing my nose right. I'm not digging in my nose. Any unwanted touch can be considered battery. Okay? Meaning if you slap me on my butt and that's an unwanted touch, not only is it harassment, you can be charged with battery and cited for it. Just for slapping me on my butt. It's unwanted. I didn't request it.
30 seconds.
So we don't know what happened. Still, it's not domestic violence.
Okay.
Meaning,
all right, let's get into this. Let us get into the conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not here to determine whether someone really went through domestic violence. I'm here to talk about another situation, but it just happened to kind of coincide with the current situation. As you heard, that was Sean D. Wavy. Salute to him. Fair use. And he's talking about another YouTuber who came and wanted to tell her story. Hey, you know, I was involved with domestic violence. You know, this is what happened. You know, and everybody that follows me, I just wanted to tell my subscribers. And again, a lot of love, a lot of support was pouring in. You know what I'm saying? I actually did a video on the covering what was said or whatever case may be. So, it was love and support. And it reminded me of another situation. It reminded me of another situation with a young lady that I used to work with. Um, and it put a bad taste in my mouth. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It put a bad taste in my mouth, and the reason why is because we do a great job as Americans, as people, as adults, of being the person or the people that want to support people who've been through something. Right? We do a great job of saying, hey, let's open up our hearts, let's open up our homes, let's provide products, let's provide services, let's provide a shoulder to lean on, let's do something. Right? People of action. If you've been through something, you've been violated, someone abused you, they took advantage of you, oh hell no. And we pull up, we quick to pull up, we quick to jump into the fight. That's what makes us great people. The issue is that sometimes people take advantage of you being a great person. Okay. We do a great job at promoting domestic violence awareness, supporting the victim or the alleged victim. But what we don't do a great job with is suppose the person that says that they were the victim, suppose they are lying about the domestic violence happening. That's what we're going to talk about today. That is the topic today. Surviving domestic violence. Not the person who says I've been violated, but the person that was accused of the violation. Who supports them? Who provide? Who nurtures them? Who tells them, hey, are you okay? That's a conversation I don't see a lot of people have. Like when you talk about domestic violence, it's normally a woman as the victim and a man as the culprit. I don't see a lot of channels or a lot of information encouraging men to come forward if they've been involved with domestic violence, if they were victims of domestic violence. Either they were assaulted or they were lied on. What happens when you're lied on about domestic violence? So let's get into this. Let's get into a coworker, right? So the coworker broke up with her boyfriend, right? And again, us wanting to be there for her, us wanting to support her, just hear her story. She did a great job at always talking about her situation, like always saying that after they broke up, he wasn't the guy for me. We always argued, etc., etc., etc. But this went on for about 6 months. Like hey, we only had bad arguments. I want y'all to stay with me. I'm going somewhere with this. We only had bad arguments. Bad arguments. Arguments, not domestic violence. Okay, right? During the 6 months of you telling your story, I think everybody in the office was kind of like, okay, we got it. You broke up with him, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And in her story, she used to say, well, he thinks he's all that because he got a new girlfriend now. So we add that to our memory bank. Oh, he just brought him a house. He thinks he's all that. Okay, we add that to our memory banks. Oh, he went and had another baby. So we add that to him. Like everything you're mentioning within the 6 months has nothing to do with violence. Has nothing to do with domestic violence. So then one day, our company gets a contract to support a domestic violence workshop. And this is where survivors were able to come and talk about the trauma that they went through, what happened, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and where they could go and get counseling. We provided all that information, et cetera, et cetera. So then the same lady that was talking about her situation with her ex-boyfriend, who never mentioned anything about violence, stay with me, Never said anything about domestic violence. But after the workshop, the next week, all of a sudden now, after she saw how people were providing products and services and attention to those victims, those real victims, she then started to add domestic violence to the situation that she's been already talking about for 6 months. Wait a minute. You didn't mention domestic violence 6 months. In 6 months, you said nothing. You didn't say he pushed you, he smacked you, he plucked you, he tripped you, he DDT'd you, he Hulkamania dropped your ass. You didn't say none of that. But the minute you saw everyone run to support those other victims, you then made their story your story. So now, instead of this man, that's your ex-boyfriend, just being a bad guy because you guys got into some bad arguments, now you accuse him of domestic violence. Somebody got to say this shit. Imagine if you are a person who breaks up with someone, and because you've moved on, because you got a new family, because you brought a home, because you've leveled up without them, now to get back at you, they now say that, well, the reason why we broke up was because domestic violence. How fair is that? People say it's three sides to a story. Their side, your side, and the actual truth. Well, let's deal with the actual truth. Me and my coworker, we actually ended up, well, a lot of people ended up just distancing themselves from her, because if you will lie and use domestic violence as a come up, because that's what she was doing. That's what she was doing. She was promoting this story, and what was so bad about it was, okay, he I don't know. I mean, she said so much stuff. He grabbed my wrist one day. This week he grabbed your wrist. The next week he smacked you in the face. The next week he grabbed your wrist, smacked you in the face, and then he punched you in the mouth. Like, she used to add more and more violence as the weeks went by. Now, again, once you told us the breakdown within the 6 months, I mean, you sat in a little lunch thing and just brought up the situation out the blue. You know what I'm saying? But never, not one time did you mention anything about violence. So when people started to question the validity of your story, she got mad. She got pissed off to the point where she quit the job, because now people were saying you're lying about domestic violence and trying to get people, because this is what was happening. What was happening is, you know what I'm saying, our other partners, business partners, what they were doing was like, hey, here's this. Let me do this for you. Let me provide this product or this service. Here's a discount on this, because you've been through so much trauma. You've been through, oh my God. No woman should have to go through what you went through. And my dumb ass, I was like, at first I was kind of like, it didn't compute at first. I'm like, oh, damn it. Come here. You okay? Are you all right? I feel your pain. I'm sorry. But then one day she was talking, and I remember there was one lady who came, right? One lady who came to the workshop, right, that we contracted for the domestic violence piece. And she had such a heartfelt, powerful story about her domestic violence situation. I mean, there's like numerous documentation from the hospital, from the police, from the court. Like, there's numerous documentation, photos, and numerous family members who knew. It was just an overwhelming story, a powerful story. So as she told her story, everyone in the room immediately said, how can I help you? How can I support you? What do you need? So our coworker took bits from her story, came back the next week, and now she was promoting the things that happened to the real victim inside her story. Because I kept saying, damn, this story sounds familiar. You know how you know how you get a deja vu? Like you sitting somewhere and you see something, but it doesn't compute right then. You have to kind of step away. And then because we recorded, what we did was we recorded the workshop. We recorded it so we could chop it up or whatever and kind of send it out. You know what I'm saying? So it just to help with awareness. And when I was sitting down editing the damn video, verbatim, what this lady was saying is exactly what our fucking coworker was saying. But she never said it before. I thought it was just me. So I brought some other coworkers with me or whatever. And I said, I want you to listen to this, right? And here it is. Lunch is getting ready to start in about 30 minutes to an hour, right? We're getting ready to go to lunch. And normally at lunch, this is when she performs. We called it an act. I want you to listen to this little clip. And then when we go into the lunchroom, I want you to hear what she says. And verbatim, she tells a story about her ex-boyfriend that matches the victim's story about her husband. Before I could get out, you lying motherfucker. Before I could get out, you lying piece of shit. Our other coworker who just seen the damn because she also was a victim of domestic violence. She says, you lying motherfucker. We've been listening to your ass for 6 months, and not one time did you mention anything about violence. Anything about this man put his hands on you, he kicked you, he spit on you. Everything that you guys argued about was over some frivolous bullshit. You're probably just two toxic people, but the fact of the matter is, you can't put domestic violence, label someone as an abuser if it's a lie. And that's exactly what you're sitting in here doing. She was burnt up. She was definitely burnt up. So then once you expose or you get exposed for lying about domestic violence or whatever, all of a sudden now, oh, you stop coming to work, you leaving the job, you putting in I'm resigning. But what you guys don't understand, this lady actually went on Facebook Live. She actually was promoting that she was a domestic violence survivor. So anytime anyone was talking about it, she added herself to the conversation. And what she did was she pulled on the heartstrings of a lot of people. She pulled on the heartstrings of a lot of other victims. And then while she was talking to other victims, she adopted pieces of their story. I think it was once she left that office, maybe in about a year. Do you guys know that this woman it went from bad arguments to how he broke her arm to how he was hitting her with pots and pans. I was like, what the fuck? Like, so my thought process is this. What if you're the person being accused of domestic violence? Where do you go to get that type of support, that type of recovery? Like once you put that on somebody and you say, you did X, Y, and Z, right? You took advantage of me, right? We can include abuse, all types of sexual abuse. We can include all of that. You're guilty because I say you're guilty. Well, here's my thought process. How many people ask for details? How many people ask for proof? I noticed that when I was in the military, we had people who lied about certain situations because they were upset with the other individual, and we had people that was telling the truth. And just sitting back, kind of watching these things or whatever case may be, in order to get support, you have to tell your story. You have to tell your story. And then once you tell your story should be concrete. It shouldn't be every time you tell it, it changes. Every time you tell it, you're aggravated because people are not believing you. Well, my thought process is, who are you telling it to? You see what I'm saying? Who are you telling it to? Now, our coworker was just messy. She was full of drama. She was full of shit. You see what I'm saying? So when you tell your story, people are going to question the validity. This is the issue. The issue is that people think you're full of shit. And when they think you're full of shit, what they do is they ask themselves, are you the little boy or woman that cried wolf? Are you known for being a part of bullshit? Are you known for being messy? Are you known for being drama filled? And when you actually come out now and say, hey, this happened to me, y'all, people are going to say, well, before I help you, what happened? But before I give you my products and my services, my energy and my time, my love and my respect and my support, what's the details? And if that makes you feel uncomfortable, if that makes you feel like, oh, hell no, how dare you ask me about my situation? Well, you brought your situation to us. You volunteered the information to us. So once you volunteer the motherfucking information and we question the validity, how dare you? How dare you think that we stupid? How dare you think that we can't put two and two together? The thought process is, if you're a victim and you tell your story should be right the first time. Your story should be concrete the first time. I listened to my coworker talk for 6 fucking months straight, and not one time did she ever say it was domestic violence. But the minute she saw those other victims get all of the support and the energy and the time and the products and the services and the love and the attention, can I say it again? The attention. She then took pieces of their story and added it to a situation so she could get the same attention. How many people y'all know like that? How many people y'all know like that? That's willing to say anything, do anything, put any type of titles on another person. You're an abuser. You're a rapist. You're this, you're that. And we don't question it. Oh, well, I guess they're an abuser. I guess they're a rapist. Imagine someone putting that title on you. Imagine just hearing out the blue. Oh, yeah, they called you a pedophile. What? They called you a rapist. What? They called you an abuser. What? Where is the support system for that? Let's talk about it. Let's get some people up in here. Where is the support system for that? For the people that go through that. Surviving domestic violence. When the alleged victim is the actual culprit. Who supports the people that are being accused and there's no court system involved? There's no factual documentation to prove that they did anything wrong other than a bad disagreement, a nasty breakup, someone having a new girlfriend, someone having a new wife, someone leveling up in a different direction. So you take that and then now you apply domestic violence to it. So you put this nasty title on your ex so that way you can get the attention and the favor of other people. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. People are throwing around titles that are heinous. People are throwing around titles that damage people's character, damage people's career moving forward. Nobody wants that type of energy. And I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of men that go through this. And this is why I like to talk to men, women, and communities. Because there's a lot of men. There's a man right now sitting somewhere and was accused of something and got railroaded and drugged up and down, and nobody asked for details. There's a woman somewhere sitting like, yeah, I'm really milking this situation right now because nobody asked me for details. They didn't ask me for dates and times. They didn't ask me for no official paperwork. Hey, I just went to the police station and they said, okay, well, write down on this piece of paper what happened. Okay, cool. We're gonna put a document number. That don't make nobody guilty. Where's the detective's name? Where's the judge's name? Where is the guilty verdict? Where is that at? I've seen so much shit as a sexual respondent in the military. So much bullshit, and we were taught to actually say, okay, well, let's get the details. You know how many people lied on people that said they took advantage? Oh, he drugged me and took advantage of me. Okay, all right. So those drugs should still be in your system if it happened last night. Those drugs should be still in your system. I don't know if you know that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a blood test. We're going to do a rape kit. Okay? So when it comes back, there are no drugs in your system. Rape kit. No semen found. So what happened again? See, that's why I didn't want to tell my story, because I knew nobody was going to believe me. So this is what happens. What happens is people go to your Facebook, they go to your social media, and they sit down. Let's find out what the nucleus to this problem is. So you go on the same time you say that you were being taken advantage of. You were online live talking about how your boy, you drinking alcohol, talking about how your ex-boyfriend ain't shit. So then when you didn't get what you wanted, you then went and reported him and said that he took advantage of you. He raped you. How many people know people like that? I have seen some crazy shit. So that's why when I look at certain situations, I always ask for the details. I always look at the times, the date, the type of person who is telling the story. Now, again, let me make this clear. All right. My mother was a victim of domestic violence. She was taken advantage of. And one of my siblings was actually born from that situation. So I know full well the effects of how it happens long term, the trauma that happens long term. Working with domestic violence survivors or whatever case may be in the military, I know full well of the trauma and the psychological damage that it does to the psyche, to the self-esteem, and the recovery process is not overnight, and it definitely makes it hard for you to trust people, makes it hard for you to look at people in a way of letting them close to you. So it's a long road back. But I've seen people lie about it, situations, to make themselves get things that actual victims get. Because they're looking for a way to get attention. They're looking for a way to get products and service. They're looking for a way to be relevant. And I got an issue with that. I got a problem with that. I tell people all the time, your personal business is your own. What happens, in your real life is your own. Now, if you want to share it, then cool. If you want to be vulnerable, and say, hey, this is what happened to me or whatever. But do it when you're ready to talk about it. Do it when you can have all the details ready to talk about it. You see what I'm saying? I don't think if you're a victim, you should have to show hospital records and you should have to do all of this other stuff. But see, when you are a fucked up individual, when people have to question the validity of what you're saying based on who the fuck you are, well, you brought that shit on yourself. You brought that shit on yourself. And when you bring it on yourself, you got to ask yourself, well, damn self, what I do? What I do wrong? You wanted people to treat you like a victim. You want attention. You want money. You want someone to say, oh my God, let me send you $300, girl. I want you to recover. I want you to prosper. I want you to win. Bring her back, Lord. You know what I'm saying? So you got people like, how can I take advantage of this situation? If you're going through some shit, heal. If you're going through some shit, heal. Heal. Fuck social media. Forget what celebrities are doing. Fuck all that. Heal. Heal physically. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm going somewhere with it. Y'all ready? Watch this. Heal physically and heal emotionally. Wait a minute. Hold on. Heal mentally. God damn. High five. High five, goddammit. High five. Heal emotionally, mentally, and physically. If you just, I'm ready to tell my story now. Damn, this shit just happened yesterday. Whoa. Chill. I don't know why social media is that important. Right? If I get into a car wreck, I'm bleeding to death. Hey! Just got into a car wreck. I was on my way to Walmart. I was gonna get me some onion rings. I'm dying, y'all. I'm bleeding out. My left leg is twisted. Woo! Y'all hear the ambulance? Yeah, the ambulance opera. They don't know what the fuck? What the fuck, dude? Like, god damn. What the fuck? Damn, somebody just broke in my house. Yeah, I think it's about 3 of them. I think I seen one with a gun. Oh my God. What the fuck? Fix your situation. Handle your situation. I don't think telling your story right then and there, right now, is that important. And people are so damaged. They're so damaged where they feel like, let me take my personal business to social media and it'll fix something. I always question people who are quick to point out their personal relationship with other people. I do it because I know that people like to hear that they're right. You see what I'm saying? That people don't have a real support system. If you had a real support system, how you're vetting online showcases that somebody would have told you because they know you. And hopefully they know the other person. So they would tell you, you are full of shit. You are toxic. You are a narcissist. You are self-centered. You have a bad attitude about life. They would tell you because they know you. But what you do is you run online and you tell this elaborate story to people who don't know you. Because now you're thinking, I could get away with this. They're only hearing my side of the story. I can tell them whatever I need to say to make me look how I need to look to get what I need to get out of them. You want people to say that you are a survivor. You want people to say that you are strong. You want people to say, poor you. You want people to reach into their heart, reach into their pockets, reach into their time, reach into their support. You want someone to relieve you of your guilt. To say that you're not wrong for how you feel. You're not wrong for your actions. I notice that there are a lot of people who do that. You're venting out situations that's happening with you personally. But the issue is we don't get all the details. We don't know what you did to the other person. We don't know if you set. Case in point. Let me rock out real quick. Let's say I'm in a relationship with someone, right? And I'm in a den now, but let's say I come through my front door and the house is messed up. It's nasty for some reason or whatever case to be. And my girl, right? My girl is she's on the couch, drinking wine and eating popcorn, but she's been doing this all day and the house is nasty or whatever case may be, right? Dishes in the sink, And I say, damn, you couldn't have straighten up anything? And she jumps up, motherfucker, you don't tell me what to do. That's your motherfucking problem. And she comes and she puts her fucking hand in my face and it like scratches my eye or something. So I knock her hand off, right? And then I just say, man, fuck it, I'm out, and I drive off. Can you imagine her then going live or her then making a Facebook post or something like that saying, see, that's what's wrong with you men. You men are disrespecting black women, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? And then you have a lot of people flock to the situation like, girl, you okay? You need anything? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But she's not saying the actual situation. No one's asking for the full details. You know what I'm saying? And we're so busy to say, oh, only your side matters. Only what you say matters. Only what you outline, what happened matters. And that's irresponsible. That's irresponsible. Because if we have no way of validating your story, we can validate your story. Because guess what? When you give your police report, right? The person you're accusing, they get an opportunity to make the statement too. They get an opportunity to make the statement too. Right? And if it comes to a point where someone needs to press charges, guess what? Now we're getting attorneys involved. Oh, shit. Now we're getting the court system involved. Now the judge is going to determine, right, the validity of what happened. And I noticed that we never get to that point. But we as people are quick to say, well, whatever this person calls that person, we're just going to say, okay, it got to be true. Because people have become so good at pulling on people's heartstrings, giving out these massive narratives and rhetoric of titles and say, oh, well, that is how can I really hurt him? How can I really put a stain on his character? I'm gonna call him a rapist. Yep. Gary, we got it. Bring it in. All right, great. Rapist. Yeah, rapist. What I need something to really damage his character. What can I call him? Let me see. Mary had a little lamb. Pedophile. I'll call him. I got it. We're gonna get some t-shirts. We're gonna get t-shirts and get some coffee mugs made. We're gonna get pins made. This is what hashtag surviving him. Yep, got it. Right. I'll tell you, listen, it's comical, but the shit is real. Like, there are people out there going through this shit for real. For real. And we let it happen. We sit back and we say, oh, sorry you're going through that. Oh, yeah. But there are some people that are bandwagoners. There are some people that are bandwagoners. Salute to the chat. I see y'all. There are some people, let me turn it on. There are some people that are bandwagoners. There are some people that want to jump on the wave of saying, well, they never really seen any proof of the situation. They never really got anything viable but I want to join in on the drama. I want to join in on the nonsense. I want to join in on the name calling. But my thought process is the same support that we give people that are really victims of domestic violence, really victims of sexual assault. Shouldn't we give that same energy, keep that same energy when someone is accused of something and we find out that they actually innocent? Shouldn't we give them our support as well? Shouldn't we give them our products and services? Shouldn't we bring them on platforms to say, hey, I'm a survivor of domestic violence, slander. I'm a survivor of being called a rapist, slander. I'm a survivor of being called a pedophile, slander. Shouldn't we keep that same energy? I don't see any content creators talking about that. I don't see anyone clearing the air like that. I don't see men that have been abused, accused, having a platform where they can come and say, I survived slander. I survived someone putting a title on my character, on my resume that I never earned, that I never participated in, that was never a part of who I was. But since they knew how to drop a tear, since they knew how to perform, they knew how to hold a body, they knew how to look away or look down, or they knew how to articulate their story. They sold a narrative to everybody, and they ate it up. And before I knew it, I was guilty and didn't have a chance to be given the opportunity to prove my innocence. How many people know people like that? How many people know people like that? Can you imagine the audacity of somebody saying that they're going to put you as a rapist or a pedophile or an abuser, put that title on you, and how dare you fight back? How dare you have enough balls to say that that's not you? How dare you don't let me sell the narrative to these people to get product, services, and donations and pull their heartstrings? How dare you come back and say, well, even though I said I'm the victim, how dare you say, well, I'm not the victim, you're really the victim because you're the one getting blamed? What? The audacity. The audacity. Someone that wants to tell the truth. They want to tell their side. Nobody wants to hear your side. It's all about me. I know how to cry. I know how to tell the story. I've been watching other victims. I've learned how to sell the story. Nobody cares about you. You're a man anyway. We automatically assume the worst. When we talk about domestic violence awareness, you know what we do? We put a picture of a woman crying, a woman sad, a woman sitting in the corner. It's never no guys on there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's never no men that's telling their stories. And I noticed that. When we did the workshop, I said, there was a woman who says, I know a guy, he couldn't make it today, but he did like a little phone thing, like a phone video, whatever. And it dawned on me that every time we talk about domestic violence, we always think the woman is the victim. That's the first thing that comes out of people's mouth. That's the first thing that's drilled in our heads. The woman, this month is for women, which is interesting. When we talk about the Me Too movement, that was for women, young girls. Can you imagine someone sitting down talking about this organization is only to support young women and girls who've been taken advantage of? Who came up with that idea? Like the women that was in that circle, right? When they sat down and they started writing out their mission statement, lining out their business plan and saying, okay, all right, cool, we're gonna get the LLC, we're gonna do this, Who said This is only for women because it only happens to women. Can you imagine a child, two children, being in a home with someone that is taking advantage of them, mentally, emotionally, and physically? And there's a movement solely dedicated to only worrying about one gender. Do you know how selfish and degrading that is? Do you know if I was a little boy and I was getting taken advantage of, and my sister was getting taken advantage of, right? When the adults come for the conversation, for the tough conversation, there's a whole movement for my sister, but there's no movement for me. There's no support for me. Can you imagine that? Who sat down and said, this is a great idea? Me too. Surviving domestic violence, slander. Surviving pedophile, slander. Surviving, slander. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a content creator, feel free to reshare this video. Give your outlook, your perspective, your narrative. I'm going to tag some people in this video. Again, this is not specific to anybody. This is not to question if someone's telling the truth or if they're lying, etc. But I just know that based on what I'm seeing on YouTube and based on my life experience, just putting all that stuff together, I felt like this conversation was a very necessary conversation. And who better to do it than Tough Love? Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, adult up. Peace.